only business I've got tonight is a request to repeal an ordinance that pertains to the library. It's one from the late 90s, but it criminalizes delinquent items that are checked out of the library. Allows for a fine of $500 and some time in jail. And I think it's not being enforced. I think it's excessive. And needs to be repealed. Any thoughts on that?
Has this been brought to the library board for their recommendation?
Yes.
And what is their recommendation?
They think it's excessive. Some of them were not aware of the ordinance, and they're unclear on really why it was passed in the first place. Like I said, it's not something that's being enforced right now. I don't think it's something that we want to enforce. We don't need to be sticking people in jail.
Where the red flag goes.
Is there, well, what it says here, any persons violating any provision of this ordinance shall, upon conviction, be fined not less than $1 or more than $500, or may be sentenced to city jail of the city of Rainsville, Alabama, for a term not exceeding 30 days, either above the discretion of the municipal court judge. Yeah, I agree the upper end is a little overburdensome. It would be a little bit of a stretch. Put somebody in jail for 30 days and fine them $500 for one overdue book. Mm-hmm. Now, my thoughts are, instead of repealing this, because it was put in place for a reason, and it was to give the library some sort of mechanism to enforce the returning of their books and periodicals. I think it might be more advisable to amend this one where the punishment's not as harsh, but allow the library some sort of mechanism to enforce people to return the books. Now, I know that they do have a late fee, and that right there works as a one mechanism.
Well, this law right here is on the books, and it's not doing anything to deter delinquent items. Over 2,000 delinquent items right now.
I have no problem bringing it up to repeal it.
I personally would rather have the opportunity. I'd rather not vote on it tonight. To repeal an ordinance, do we have to go through the standard procedures?
Well, we can't repeal an ordinance or pass one without unanimous consent to suspend the rules. So I didn't know if you guys were up to speed on this ordinance. I wasn't until a few months ago. But I think it's something that needs to be.
So in order to, if I could enter that order, we have to put it on for 2 weeks and then we can repeal it. Not,
Now, the same procedure as passing an ordinance. If there's unanimous consent to suspend the rules, and then unanimous and the vote is unanimous to pass it, then it can be adopted the same way it's introduced. Otherwise, just a simple control.
Me personally, I'd like to have over the next 2 weeks to have the opportunity to discuss this with different board members of the library board and see if they're more in favor of amending this one or just completely repealing it. I would ask that we hold off and vote on this to the following meeting.
That's fine. That's fine. We can hold off on vote. I am going to submit it for a first reading tonight, to clear it up. I'm not against them having a mechanism to try to correct delinquent items. But this one right here is obviously not working, and I don't think it's something any of us are going to be comfortable with enforcing.
We can't keep drug dealers in jail for 30 days.
Unless they have an overdue book.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd say that's a little bit much.
The other items, personnel items, Sarah had 2 recommendations for part-time workers at the library. should be on the other end.
Let me pull something up here real quick. My phones and fat fingers don't work well.
These workers are just part-time for the summer, is that right?
And the two workers in question are Danielle Ladwick, did I pronounce that correct? And Patricia Anderson. I have a few things, I don't think really many of them are to vote on, that I'd like to present. Right here is a resolution 5-4-15, amendment to resolution 4-7-14-1. This right here changes two items in the job posting resolution. One, it changes it to where we only have to publish notification of the job and make note that the job description is available at City Hall. So we don't have to publish multi-pages of job descriptions. And that's section 5 of it. And section 6 of it indicates that, well, let's say that we have an individual whose job description is critical to the running of the city, and for some reason or another they leave, whether it's on their own account or if it's medical reasons. This would give us the ability to not go through the 3-week process, the 1 week of internal posting and the 2 weeks of external postings for any jobs. It would allow us to skip over that by a majority vote of the 6-member council. So I will be presenting that resolution tonight in hopes that it does pass.
Joe, that's not on the agenda.
That should be underneath the agenda. If you'll look underneath, job posting.
Job posting.
Alright, we have, and this don't have to be, this is below spending limits, it could just be signed off upon. But Miss Linda Samples had purchased some items for the tornado memorial. She had purchased 5 framed prints for the memorial, and looks like 32 bundles of mulch to go around it for the ceremony last weekend. The grand total of all of this was $765. 640 of it was the mulch. $125 were the frame prints. And this is to be paid out of the Tornado Memorial Fund. So I will just be asking that we make good on those payments. We had agreed to basically go halfers with the Plainview High School with some help from our legislative committee for a top dresser. We have already voted and passed that. Mr. Skeeter Logan is now asking for a purchase order so that he can submit for the purchase of that top dresser. Did I call it a top loader earlier? It's a top dresser.
Do we have their end of the money?
The school's in, I'd have to ask them. But here's what we're going to be getting. We're going to be getting the school's portion, and from Senator Livingston and Representative Ledbetter have been so kind and gracious to offer us a large chunk of change on that also.
I think the holdup was waiting on their money. They said they had it, but I don't know if anybody got it.
Well, one of the holdups was waiting on them to name a principal,
Right.
and that's come
I'm all
through.
for it as long as they got it, because I heard that that presented the check or had the check to present them, so as long as they've got their hand on it, you know, we've done voted for it, so it's good to go.
I have an agreement here from Technico. This is the company that has traditionally done the fireworks display for the Freedom Fest. Farmers Telecommunications Cooperative has been so kind as to split the cost with the city of Rainsville for this festival. I will be making a motion to empower the mayor to go ahead and sign the paperwork. And this is something that just needs to get back to them. Mayor Pro Tem Lingerfeld had this upon his agenda. He was unable to attend, so I got the pleasure of presenting that to everyone. We ran out of garbage cans again. Mr. Dobbins is wanting to place an order for 100 cans. Total for that would be $6,615.57. That's not on the agenda. I would ask that we go ahead and pay for it. He let me know today that it arrived. So that's, I would hope we would make a courtesy call on that one for Mr. Dobbins. And I don't think any of y'all care about my 7 and 8-year-old softball team winning the game, so we'll not touch base upon that. I do notice that we have some individuals here from Shiloh Ranch Road. Mr. Parrott, correct? Mr. Forward? Don't think I know your name.
April Sunshine with Southern Properties.
Oh, okay.
And Carmen McPherson with Caldwell Bank of the Valley, and I represent Mr. Tidmore in the
Okay,
sale of
Mr.
his
Tidmore
house.
With the buy-in.
Okay. Here's what they're asking. Right now, is it called Shiloh Ranch Road?
Yes.
Shiloh Ranch Road is a private drive. They are asking for the city to accept that as a city road. And it would greatly enable a real estate transaction. Because I believe one party has applied for a VA's loan, and there is some language that precludes a house on a private road. Now, if it is a city road, it is our responsibility as a city to maintain it. I personally believe that they have come to us before, have properly explained the situation. And I'd also like to note that if we do bring it in, I cannot promise a timely paving of the road. We might be able to get in there and fix some of the potholes or something other just to make it passable where you don't have to get your front end lined every other day.
How close is that road to being up to code to pave?
It's actually got a surface on it now, but throughout the years, it's starting to fall apart. As far as how much is it up to be code, it meets all the credentials of it, except for probably needs to be re-crowned just a little bit. I mean, to make the watershed like it's supposed to, because that's part of the last of the road. That's part of the description of what it takes to get the road in the formal deal. So the road needs to be re-crowned. And with that said, I've actually looked into it, and I don't know if Sam may have talked to or someone else had talked to some engineers about the road, because I'm definitely not one, but you know, it wouldn't take much to take
This is
that
what I
road and
propose.
salvage it.
Y'all tell me if y'all are good with it. If we say we can do that, we'll get Sam Phillips to come look at the road, and then whatever we have to do to make the road to where it can be up to code for the legal thing of that, Is the people on that street willing to help do anything to get the road to code? To help the city?
Well, let's look at it at that time.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So if that's good with y'all, we can get in touch with Sam Phillips, have him to check it out and give us an estimate on getting it to code.
That's gonna be the proper way to do it.
Right, I mean, you know, some
That's what
people
we
say
ask
they-
other-
I mean, we have no problem with it, as long as we can get the road to code,
Mhm.
you know, it's there, that way we're covered. I don't think any of us here is gonna object to it.
Right.
But I can call Sam in the morning if you want me to, get him to check.
Now here is the one situation that's pressing upon this. And that would be the buyer of one of the properties trying to qualify for a loan. So,
I don't know how quick that needs to be. I mean, we can.
Well, we kind of had, the 15th is what the lender has given us, because, I mean, I can give you the documents they first wanted us to sign, and then what David Ware said would be adequate to be signed by the city, if you'd like for me to, and I think I emailed it to you, so.
yeah, and I don't have.
You want me to
have a
give you
copy
one?
of- Yes, if I'd like to see a copy of it, I'm sorry.
Is that-
that's okay. I've got copies for everyone.
That's one, and you said about 15?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's kind of what the deadline is.
And this would be,
What's the odds they could push that off until the 18th, which is that Monday? That's our next council meeting, and that would give Mr. Phillips every report that he would need to give us something.
the 18th.
It's up to the buyer and the seller
It's
too.
the buyer knows the lender, how they would feel
I've
about
got
it.
to contact her tomorrow, so I can notify her today, and that should be fine.
I mean, if we can do that, then that'll be the next
That should
council
be
meeting,
fine.
Mr. Phillips, he can be right here and report to us what it's gonna be.
That would put
Yeah.
happy faces on everyone, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
does anybody here have a problem with that, can we get Sam to do that and report to the next council meeting?
No, it's got on here Shallow Ranch Road. Now, Shallow Ranch Road, already exists. That hits Heaton Road.
This way.
It's, the description on there is what David Ware gave me. It's part of the Shiloh Ranch subdivision.
Okay.
And that's the plat book page and slide. Now, I can go get that for you and bring it to City Hall if you'd like, if you want me to get a copy of the plat.
No, that's okay. I
Okay.
just
Mhm.
clarifying. Y'all's address is Shallow Ranch Road, but it's really at the end of the drive.
Well, actually, Shallow Ranch Road ends less than the next two houses up, which is the crossroads there at the, down on the farm.
Yeah.
That's where it actually ends at. So it actually goes up to our place, and then they just assign Shallow Ranch Road, and that probably would have to be
Yeah.
corrected, but that's y'all's discretion, but, you know, because I don't know if y'all see fit want to call it Shallow Estates anymore.
Well, the road has to have another name, I think.
now, I'm in favor of Joey Graham Road, but I think we have to put that up for a vote.
Let's hear back from Sam and then we'll know better.
Like I said, I'll call him first thing in the morning and get him to come and do that, and then let him make his presentation 2 weeks from today.
Great, thank you, thank you.
And let me just make sure I may be done with all of mine. Is there a resolution to add a signature power to a bank account? Okay. And this one's gonna be, I have another resolution. This is adding individuals to the, have the ability to sign checks onto the city account. It says, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Rainsville that the council authorizes Mayor Nick Jones, Mayor Pro Temp Roger Lingerfeld, City Clerk / Treasurer Kelly Frazier, and City Magistrate Tammy Gregory as city officials authorized to sign checks which shall require at all times 2 signatures on all checks on behalf of the City of Rainsville. But I asked that we go ahead and we'd pass this resolution too.
You were presented with a wastewater treatment report. Alan, is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Not right now.
Appreciate you doing that. We also received Chief Centers by email, appreciate that as well. There was a resolution Melissa asked me to bring up tonight, but I'm gonna hold off on that. It's about, rate the Bevel Center, and I'd really rather, someone from the Bevel Center be here to explain that before we discuss that. That's all I have.
I've got two things. One of them, I'm gonna be making a motion that we purchase a load of field mix for field dreams. We've had two highly successful baseball tournaments the last 2 weekends, and then we're off this weekend for Mother's Day, and then we've got an NSA softball tournament scheduled already for next weekend. So we're doing good there, but we're running out of dirt. It rained so much the weekend before, we used everything we had to dry it up, but everything's good there. Then I'll be making a motion that we open a checking account for the farmer's market, because we're done getting people reserving spots that we talked about in the past meeting. It's done there, and we need to be able to put that money somewhere.
Is there gonna be any problem just letting that flow through the general fund?
Well, the way the state had stated it, where we could be, to be able to accept their vouchers and everything, that had to be kind of like a separate thing, so that's why I was asking to have it on the account, that way we could pay for our own part of the advertising and everything else. Well, that's what the money that's gonna come in, so that's gonna go for, basically just advertising for it. And an announcement I wanna put in the newspaper is we're gonna start having Pee Wee football sign up starting Monday, May the 11th at the Field of Dreams. Sammy will be there. So anytime, just come by, and it's $75 per child, just like it has been. My phone rang. And I don't know if that exists. You got, for information, call Sammy Smith at 256-717-3401. And I've got one other thing that's not on here. If you want me to wait, it's no big deal, but I want to hire Ed Richards to fill dreams. We need one more person, summer part-time worker. So if you want me to wait till the next meeting, that'd be fine. It's just no big deal either way. Because it's not on the agenda, so it doesn't matter. We can wait till the meeting.
Go through the job posting.
We'll need to do that. I need to post that.
Part-time?
That'll be fine. I'll do that and put it up for next week, or next council meeting. That's all I've got.
I do want to give a little tip of the hat to Mr. Sam Smith. As I mentioned earlier, I'm coaching a 7- and 8-year-old team that we won a game over the weekend. But we played 3 away games in a row. And I had played, my girl had played 2 years of t-ball. Every single game was at the Field of Dreams. We played fall ball on the softball team last year. Every game was at the Field of Dreams. And so far this year, every away game has been rained out except for our home games, and we played all home games. So after playing 3 games in a row at fields outside of the Field of Dreams, I now have a new appreciation for the hard work and dedication Mr. Smith does and the good shape that our fields are in. So thank you, Mr. Smith.
Time for the meeting. Would you guys be opposed to, on a regular basis, eliminating the workshop? Of course, we've got our meetings on Monday, first and third Mondays of every month, but having workshops on an as-needed basis. But generally, in the workshop, we discuss the business and then we repeat it in the meeting. Do you guys have any problem eliminating the workshop, starting the meeting at 5, opening it up, and finishing all together?
I don't.
We need to have a workshop on just as needed basis.
Do we have to change anything? We have to do it officially? Change the meeting term?
Yeah, that's probably be best. Well, now that's a different deal. You wanna meet at 5:30 or 5? You wanna
Oh,
still
you
meet
were
at?
asking them to just wait and start at 5:30.
Well, it's like the meeting's posted to start at 5:30, and then we do like a 30-minute workshop. If we eliminate the workshop, we can still get together at 5 if you want to, or we can wait till 5:30.
If we get here at 5, to me, it really makes no difference if we go straight into a workshop for 30 minutes and talk about stuff, or if we go straight into a council meeting. Because essentially, we are discussing the same things. It's one of those we can discuss it and then vote on it.
But it's exactly right, we can discuss it, have one discussion, one time in the meeting, and then there's a vote.
I have no issues with it. I would say let's leave the next one as is, and let's look and see how we officially need to do it. If it's a resolution or if it's just a motion and a second.
Yeah. I know when we moved it last time, we just moved the fire hall, we just voted one meeting and moved the location and all that. Something like that. Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Graham,
Present.
Holt,
Here.
Freeman.
Here. We have the minutes as the minute. I move that we accept the minutes of the prior meeting as presented and dispense with the reading thereof.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to dispense with the reading and approve the minutes as presented. Oh, one. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I do want to formally present ordinance number 2-3-97. Officially, it's an ordinance that declares failure to return property of the Rainsville Public Library to be a misdemeanor, along with a fine, possible jail time. I think we're going to push that back to the next meeting for consideration, but I would like for you to consider it in spare time and call the library board or call them in and work in favor of this bill. I've got a personnel recommendation from Sarah, the two names that were mentioned before for summer part-time.
I make a motion that we hire Danielle Ladwig. Did I say it again correct? Okay. And Patricia Anderson to the four mentioned positions.
I second it also.
A motion by Graham, second by Freeman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I did want to discuss one other thing. And this is just popped my mind. This is not something we're going to vote on tonight, it's just something we need to consider. Since we have taken office, we have had 3 licensed operators at the wastewater treatment plant leave for a higher paying job. And I don't blame you. You got to take care of your family and do what's best for them. And here's the situation that we currently have. We've only got 1 operator at this point in time. And we either need to do one of 2 things in the future. 1, increase the pay rate of the operators at the sewer plant where they are competitive with other locations. Or make the next person that comes in sign a work agreement or a contract, if you must say it that way, to work X amount of time. Because if what we've done is we've brought individuals in that did not have their license, we basically trained them, gave them experience, and then they were able to parlay that into a better paying job. Essentially, we have been training individuals for other wastewater treatment facilities. And so if we're going to stop this trend, we've got to do, like I said, one of two things. One, either bring our pay rates to where they are competitive with other wastewater treatment facilities, or have whoever comes in next, if they are not a licensed operator, and they are going to train, and the city's going to pay for their training, that we ask them to sign an agreement stating that as long as they're working in that field, utilizing that license, that they would have to stay with us for a certain number of time, or a number of years, however we want to do it. And, because, you know, I don't really want Rainsville to be a training station for everybody else. I'd rather us train up our employees and keep them for a while. Let's just all be thinking about that. Because we're down to one operator right now. We haven't posted that position yet, have we, Alan? And if we post it right now for a licensed operator at the current pay range, I don't think we'll have anybody take it. I don't think we'll have anybody apply for it, because essentially someone would have to take a decrease in pay to come work here. You know, we could possibly get someone who doesn't have a license to come in. And if that's the case, then we need to look at, like I said, one of the two options. I just wanted to mention that and get that out there. I make a motion that we accept the bid from Toter Cans for 100 cans for $6,615.57.
Second.
Motion by Graham, second by Holt, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I make a motion that we empower the mayor to sign the contract with Pyrotechnico for the fireworks display for the Freedom Fest.
I second it.
Motion by Graham, second by Freeman, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's the contract. I make a motion that we reimburse Miss Linda Samples the $765 out of the Tornado Memorial Fund for supplies for the Tornado Memorial.
Second it.
Motion by Graham, second by Freeman, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Let's see here. Where's our? Okay. I make a motion that we, Ms. Judy, is it pass and adopt for a resolution? I make a motion that we pass and adopt Resolution 5-4-2015. This is the amendment to the internal-external job posting resolution.
I'll second that.
I'm going to vote no on this job posting amendment. The original one, is something that at best is something that's glanced at every now and then. At worst, is something that's completely disregarded. I don't know what an amendment really is going to help things, because we don't even follow the original at all times. Got a motion? Second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? I vote no. Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pass and adopt Resolution 5-4-2015-1. This is giving the authority to sign to both Mayor Jones, Mayor Pro Tem Roger Lingerfeld, City Clerk Kelly Frazier, and City Magistrate Kenny Gregory.
I second
Motion by Graham, second by Freeman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
So we need to have a motion for a purchase order for the top dresser. Is that
it. I don't
necessary?
think so, because we've done agreed to it, as soon as they get their money. soon as that's paid, as soon as they've got theirs, you know, we've done passed it and agreed to it and waiting on.
I would say have the treasurer give her, the purchase order.
They got their money, we need to go.
Okay. Well, I'm done.
I don't have anything to vote on.
I'm gonna make a motion that we purchase a load of field mix for the Field of Dreams, and the dollar figure on that's like $50 a ton.
Second.
Motion by Freeman, second by Holt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries.
Make into a motion also that we open a checking account for the farmer's market and probably enable Tammy Gregory and myself to be the same. Right, that's the same thing. Anybody see how Bill was sign that? By the motion we just done, so there's no point in me getting anywhere on there. Whoever's in the city hall can sign.
I'd stay as far away as possible.
Yes. That would leave you, Roger, Tammy, or Kelly can sign me a check this week. Now, that'll cover for the farmer's market also. And I'm just gonna make a motion that we open up a checking account for the farmer's market.
Second.
Motion by Freeman, second by Holt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And I was just gonna make my announcement one more time for the newspaper. Pee Wee football sign up starting Monday, May the 11th. Call Sammy at the Field of Dreams at 256-717-3401, and it's $75 per child. And that's all I have.
That'll be fine.
Mayor, council members, Kane Burnett, from the law firm of Bradley Arant, Bolt Cummings in Birmingham, and coming back to you, I think at your meeting on the 23rd, or maybe it was the 27th, but in late April, the council approved a sale of a new series of warrants of the city to refund the city's 2005 warrants. You may recall that results in a savings to the city of over $100,000 on a dollar-to-dollar basis. Tonight, you have before you the full ordinance that sets forth the form of the warrant, how they'll be issued, how the proceeds will be applied on Friday, which is the anticipated closing date. Also, in connection with that, we propose that the council name Kelly as acting city treasurer for the limited purpose of signing the various documents needed in connection with this financing. So it's really two items, and I would propose that first that you act on the resolution to name her as acting city treasurer, and then second would be the ordinance, which would require suspension of the rules. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about that.
Are we gonna have unanimous consent on suspension of rules? Or is that all?
Yeah, it's, the resolution is actually, right, on top of that. Right.
5/4/2015.
That'd be the resolution number.
Can you feel about this?
Okay. Okay.
Like Kane said, got to have a acting city treasurer to sign some of these documents. This resolution, you're welcome to read it before we vote, places Kelly in that position. So,
Do you need a motion to suspend the
we'll
rules?
need this is a general resolution, so no, we just need a motion in a second and vote. No suspension.
Yeah, I make a motion to pass Resolution 54/2015-2, which names Kelly Frazier as interim, did you say interim or acting? Acting city
That's right.
treasurer.
That's right.
I'll second it.
We got a motion by Holt to pass the resolution as he stated, second by Freeman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And then it would be the ordinance, motion to suspend the rules on the ordinance, and then a motion to consider for adoption of the ordinance. So, 20, okay.
I'll make a motion that we, suspend the rules for immediate consideration for ordinance 5-4-2015.
I'll second.
We got a motion by Graham to suspend the rules of order for immediate consideration of ordinance number 5-4-15. A second by Holt. We'll take a roll call vote. Graham,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. We got a motion for
I'll
adoption.
move the adoption of ordinance 5/4/2015.
I second that motion.
A motion by Holt to pass and adopt the stated ordinance. Second by Graham. We'll take a roll call vote. Graham,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Freeman. Yes. I vote yes. Motion carries. Ordinance passes.
Is that 172 times?
Yeah.
To kind of bring everybody up to speed, we refinanced two sets of bonds, the 2005 Series A and Series B bonds that were tied to a sewer upgrade that we had done. The end result of us refinancing these bonds when we did is a net savings of over $172,000 over the next 20 years. And so we're kind of proud of that. We hope to put that extra revenue to good use here in the city of Rainsville.
Yeah, we'll try to fix it on the road.
Is there a motion to pay the bill?
Pull that one. Because we don't know what
Just need a little bit.
She just put it there.
Y'all just need a little bit of it.
Did we get a dog truck run carry on or something?
Oh, that box, you didn't do that, really. But I don't know nothing about
This
surface
one.
and stuff.
We don't know who this is for.
Was that not the one that Jimmy Travis on this one? He came and looked and gave his estimates and stuff on what the post was.
Is that what this is?
If I'm not mistaken, it's something Jimmy Travis done.
No, this says repairs to the ferry.
Is Paragon the firm? That's why I'm asking to hold that, so we know what that is.
Somebody dumped a whole bunch of gravel up there, down that road. I don't know how much, but it was a lot of gravel.
Is that Paragon, where's that? Is that going back towards, turn by Food Lane?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Rankin Road.
Okay, that might be some work that Don would have.
He didn't have to, that's all.
Did they not tear out the side of the building with a front loader truck? That's what that's from, pretty sure.
That's,
Okay.
well, if that's the case, then I make a motion that we pay the monthly bills as presented by Ms. Kelly Frazier.
I second.
Motion by Graham to pay the bills as presented, second by Freeman. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that we adjourn.
Motion by Graham to adjourn the meeting, second by Freeman. All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. Motion carries.